All right, let's talk about some Gmail basics. We're going to compose some emails. We're going to look at CC and blind copying, people formatting, attaching stuff, saving it as a draft, and then go over how to open a message. It's probably in a different video. So first things first, let's go to mail.google.com. That should bring us to, if you're not signed in, you have a little sign-in page here. So on the top, you sign in. And if you want to use your @medwayschools.org account. And it's time for, oh, that's second lunch ending. That's all right. So I'm going to go ahead and log in here. All right, so it'll take a few seconds to load. And once it does, there's a bunch of different options for your inbox. I separate mine into unread and everything else because that's the way I like to see it, but we'll talk more about how you can organize that later. So if you want to write a message, compose here on the left, big red button, compose. And notice mine pops up in the middle here. You have an option that I default to the full screen. I like it in the full screen, but if not, you might get this first, where you go compose, and it pops up here on the right. Either one will work. Sometimes you like to see what you were reading before so you can reply to it. So let's say I send a message to Joan. I have pre-populated either any Joan I've ever connected with or emailed, or any Joan in my contacts list right now, and you should have the @medwayschools.org contacts already pre-populated. Sorry, so it's a message to Joan about the physics final. The subject area is here, and the third box is any content you would add to it. So in the small version, you don't have a lot of formatting options. It's short, it's quick, and easy to use. This little arrow right here going to make it full screen. Then you get more options here. So if you want to get more detailed, you have the usual bold, italics, underlined, so on and so forth, text different colors. So all the formatting is down here. If you wanted to attach anything, you have the little paperclip. It's going to attach files. The little drive symbol, you can actually attach drive documents that are in your drive. So it's not shared. So you can go through your drive, things that are shared with you, so on and so forth. So let's say I wanted to search for project file. Okay, this physics song project. And that'll link to the file right in there, right from your drive, or images, or making something, inserting a link or a little smiley face, etc. Lots of options there. So that's basics of writing the message. Also, if you wanted to copy people on it, it doesn't show up right away, but the CC here on the right, it's going to add copy, and then the BCC is going to have a blind copy to anyone else. So the basics of email, hasn't really changed. Down here in the bottom right, the more options. This was the default to the big screen. If I wanted to show up bigger first, I can add labels down here, which we'll talk about later. Request a read receipt, so I'll know when it's opened and when it's read. I can go to a plain text mode, or I can print or check spelling down here. So that's the basic tour of the composed message. And if I'm not quite done yet, I can either delete it here, discard it entirely, but it saves as I go. So if I close out of this, I'm not quite done yet, it's still saved in my drafts over here. So here's my test email. I can open it up again from drafts, and I can send it right here. You can also attach stuff from the small window as well. All right, so that's composing a message. We'll talk about more in the next video.